Um, I thought both teams competed. I think as a coach, that's the first thing you look for, how hard your teams play, how they competed. I thought we did a good job getting out the gates, making plays. You got to give these two guys credit. I thought Trey did a good job of dribble penetrating, making plays, keeping his balls alive, probing the defense. I thought Jarnell did a good job of, some of you don't get a stat for us, keeping those bigs down on the low post where he's keeping them occupied where they couldn't get out to the corners, and Trey making plays with his dribble penetration, finding our shooters, and ultimately finding our big guys around the rim. But you got to give Rick's team, a lot of credit. They play hard. When you're playing with 6 guys, and I told him, he has a chance to be special with those guys, young, very talented players that play hard. Sometimes it seems like it's a skill within itself just to get guys to play hard. He get his guys to play hard despite limited bodies, playing a lot of minutes. So credit to their guys and their staff for doing that, because that's not the easiest thing. But, our guys did the things necessary to win a ball game.
All right, we'll take questions just for the 2 student athletes. If you'll raise your hand, and we'll get a floor mic to you. Hands up. Start right on the front row.
For Jarnell, how much talk, if at all, before the game was there about what happened to y'all last year's tournament and trying to avoid that fate? Did y'all discuss that or not?
No, we don't try to think about last year's tournament. I feel like we just prepare for this game.
Hands up. Other questions for either of the student athletes? All right. On the aisle.
Jarnell, you had 2 close, tough games against Alabama. What is your main memory of Alabama?
Probably us just going out, just coming and getting a big win, finally getting over the hump as far as winning close games. I feel like, early in the season, we weren't winning close games. And around that time, we started pulling out those close games. So I think that really just gave a lot of guys confidence.
Question on the right side.
For either Jarnell or Trey, can you guys just talk about the first half and y'all's ability to use their turnovers to build that early, big first half lead?
Trey, do you want to take that?
It was just, being able to get out in transition is what we like to do. Jarnell's really athletic, outrun, the usual big man. So that's what we were trying to do, force turnovers with our pressure and just get out in the transition and, make plays.
Question on the left.
For either player, just talk about, you never really could put them away. Was it the case of their hustle, or maybe y'all just trying a little bit too hard to make plays? Everybody's trying to make a play for yourselves.
Jarnell, you want to try that one?
I think that's just something we have to develop. I feel like we went out on a 15-point margin as far as, I feel like we were up 15, and that's just something we have to develop as far as a killer instinct, as far as going up 25. And, that'll just make us a better team, but I feel like we went out and competed, but we just didn't defend at a high level in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Hands up. Other questions for either of the student athletes? Question in the back. Go ahead.
Trey, you guys get win number 20 right now. You guys are on the bubble of the NCAA tournament. You guys thinking about that at all? Do you think this is enough to get you guys in?
That's something we're not thinking about right now. We're just in the SEC tournament, just trying to make sure we get an SEC championship. All we thought about was Mississippi State. Now, our focus is on Alabama.
Hands up. Other questions for either of the student athletes? All right. Thank you, fellas. You can return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach Martin. If you raise your hand, and we'll get a mic to you. Hands up. Question on, go ahead.
Cuonzo, Jarnell mentioned the significance of that second Alabama game. When you look back at that game and the first Alabama game, what was the real difference for your team, do you think?
Well, I think in the first game, we didn't play with a level of toughness. I thought we competed in the Alabama game at Alabama. We didn't play with toughness. We were struggling to score the ball. I think Jordan had a good game at their place in scoring the ball. Gave ourselves a chance to win, and I think we had 3 major turnovers down the stretch of the game with like 2 minutes left in the game. Have to watch film to be exact. And then at our place, we were somewhat on a roller coaster as a team, up and down, finding ways to win games, struggling to win games, compete in games. But we found a way to get a win at our place. Jarnell got a big stop at the end into the game at our place to get a win. But I have to go back to watch film to be exact in particular on certain situations.